Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again. Today we have another tone control or EQ unit. This is the Douk Audio T7. It's a tone control equalizer similar to the two other ones that I've reviewed from Douk, the T8 and the T8 Pro. Those two do have tube buffers, so you get a little bit of that tube sound. This one does not, and while we don't have that tubey sound, you're going to get a little more accurate control over your frequencies. Let's take a look at the unit. The first knob on the T7 is your power knob, and it also lets you switch between the XLR input and the single-ended RCA inputs. To the left you have off, then down you have XLR, and to the right RCA. You do get a little red LED down at the bottom. It's pretty tiny, but it lets you know when the unit is powered on. When you have it on the off position, you're actually bypassing the sound, and you will still get your audio cutting through, just not through any of the EQs. So while this unit doesn't have a bypass switch, the off will do the same thing. And then we have our 7 EQ controls. We'll talk about the frequencies in a bit. On the back side, we have our inputs. We have one set of XLR, one set of RCAs, and our outputs, RCA and XLR as well. This one does come with a 12 volt DC 1.5 amp wall wart. While this wall wart isn't anything special, it works just fine. I also tried this unit using my iFi iPower X 12 volt, and I didn't hear any differences in sound quality or in the noise floor. So back to those bands, we have 64 Hertz, 125, 250, 500, 2 kilohertz, 4 kilohertz, and 8 kilohertz. And we get plus or minus 6 dB of adjustments. While the unit looks fairly similar to Douk's own T8 Pro, the frequencies are quite a bit different. This unit also is a pure EQ, as it does not have any volume knob for attenuation, which I personally think is great. I prefer to handle that at the preamp. And it has that newer design language on the Douk units, as in the H7 Pro, and a few other units that have the curved side panels. I listened to this EQ with a small Douk stack consisting of the EQ, the Douk H7 Pro amplifier, and the Douk U8 DAC and headphone amp. While aesthetically the units just look okay, I wish that Douk would have a little more seamless integration in their design language. Like, I wish the colors would have matched perfectly on all three units. That would have been a cool option. And currently this unit is only available in black. That being said, this unit is still a winner. I still really dig this unit for two reasons. First of all, we have 7 very useful bands of EQ, and second, the price point. This unit comes in at $99. Incredible value for what you're getting here. So let's compare this to my shit Lokius. The Lokius is a 6-band EQ, also handles RCA and XLR, and the Lokius does have a bypass switch. The Lokius's frequencies are a little bit different, starting at 20 Hz, next to 120, then 400, 2K, 6K, and 16K. The Lokius has a slightly better signal to noise ratio at 115 dB versus 104 dB. However, my experience is it didn't really make a difference. When you give your speakers any kind of volume, the noise floor is gone. You can't hear any noise at all. Aesthetically speaking, that would be subjective. I do think that the Lokius looks slightly nicer. However, I'll overlook that for the price point of the T7 being 1/3 the price of the Lokius. The Lokius comes in at $299 in black and $319 in silver. Again, 6 bands, 7 bands on the T7. So automatically I'd say the T7 is a much better value, and I would definitely recommend this unit to any of my friends. However, we have to talk about the bands because they are a little bit different and they'll help you for different things. The Douk T7 has the first band at 64 Hz, which is much more suited for music. Where the Lokius has its first band at 20 Hz, not much is going on in music at 20 Hz. However, this is great for home theater use if you want to bring down some of that sub bass or give it a little extra rumble when you're listening to let's say a scary movie. The next 4 bands and the next 5 bands respectively on these units, I'd say give you enough flexibility to tweak as much as you really want. However, the last band on the T7 comes in at 8 kilohertz, which is going to give you an adjustment on some hi-hats, where the Lokius is going to give you more adjustment on that sizzle at 16 kilohertz. So the Lokius is going to help you more with those air frequencies. So knowing that, you can make a better buying decision knowing what your speakers lack or what you just really like to listen to. If you want to give your sound more sizzle at the very high end, then the Lokius is going to be the way to go. If you want to get a little extra thump in the musical notes in the 50 to 60 Hz range, then the T7 is the way to go. The Lokius also doesn't give you a flat range across board with the attenuation. You have plus or minus 12 dB on the outer two, then plus or minus 9 dB on the next set in, and finally plus or minus 6 dB on the center two. Whereas over here on the Douk T7, you have plus or minus 6 dB across board. Now I played some music and adjusted every knob respectively. And I will say that on that 20 Hertz, that extra attenuation was great. However, on all the other bands, I felt that plus or minus 6 dB was plenty of adjustability for any sound that I might want to tweak. So I'm going to make this review short. The bottom line is a T8 gives you awesome value, coming in at 1/3 the price of the Schiit Lokius, and actually still $50 cheaper than Schiit's Loki Mini, which comes in at $149 and only gives you 4 bands of EQ. Another solid piece from Douk Audio. What can be improved on the next one? Well, 7 bands of EQ are great. Those 2 extra frequencies that the Lokius has are definitely terrific. I'd love to see a 20 Hertz knob on the next unit, which would help out for movie soundtracks, and it would also help you with subsonic frequencies on vinyl playback. And also that 16 kHz band. Being able to adjust that high-end sizzle would make this unit complete. And finally, on the aesthetic side, a little better integration with more of the Douk products. Like keep the colors the same, keep the logo the same, instead of having this centered, match it to the other units, so aesthetically it looks nice and seamless. Hopefully you'll have an upgraded DAC coming up with the same form factor, and again, I'd love to see all the colors match. But as for what we have currently at $99, I don't think there's much to complain about at all. It really is an awesome unit, super fun to play with. The knobs have also a great feel. Alright guys, that's all I have for you on this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.